Hello everybody, Handheld Gamer here. Today we're going to be doing a new series. I'm going to be doing Famicom Fridays. So Famicom Fridays, I'm going to play Nintendo NES and Famicom games on the Fridays only. So kind of a throwback to the originals. So the first game we're going to be playing is Mobile Gundam Z Hot Scramble. So this is a Gundam game. Fantastic. Actually, it's not a bad game. It's pretty good actually. So I really like it. And I'm also going to be using, so I have a Sharp Twin Famicom, and I'll show you the picture. As you can see, there's my Sharp Twin Famicom, all looking cool and stuff. I really like it. And I'm also going to be using, going back to this, the controller is the original Commander controller from Hori. So this is like Hori's first controller in Japan. So this is probably their very first controller they ever designed for any system, and it was for the Famicom, and this is the Commander they call it. So it's got some turbo switches, which is really cool. So as you can see, turbo or A and B button. Very simple controller, but comfortable because it's not the square Famicom where it digs into your hands. It's got little rounded corners. So it's pretty comfortable actually. So without further ado, sit back and let's check it out. Okay, Gundam Z Hot Scramble Famicom. 7 years have passed since the one-year war between the Federal Earth Government and the Zion Dukem ended, but the computer system was destroyed in that war, and the Federation Army Register was lost. Colonel Char Ansville of the Zion Forces infiltrates the Federation Army under the pseudonym of Captain Quattro Begina, and he has also become the leading figure of the anti-government organization AEUG that insists that mankind should immigrate to space if they wish for the perpetuity of Earth. But the Federal Force Titans put pressure on them. Okay, this Hot Scramble Gundam Z was very popular in Japan. It is a action rail shooter. Published by Bandai, so fantastic game. The game sold over 400,000 copies. I'm sorry, and helped to launch the Gundam series as we know it. So we're gonna play here. This reminds me of two games. Sort of reminds me of what is that game called? Buck Rogers' Planet of the Zoom. Or I can't think of the other game now. One's called 3D World Runner, but I can't think of the other one. But as you take place on Earth, then to space, and basically you kind of just fly from point A to point B, and then you go to a third stage where you go into these ship fortress battles and destroy the reactor. So here's our first one. Now there was also, this is where the game takes a little bit of a different approach on the third stage, which people say sort of breaks the game a little bit. So later on they released a special version of this game, but only 1,000 copies were ever released, and it basically scrapped all these levels and just left the shooting parts in. So very cool game. Very rare if you can find that the final version. But fantastic game. Let's see here. Now the hard part is getting the controls down of flying, because you can run into things. Now this game consists of, I believe, 16 primary levels, and pretty much has every single mech in the series of, what is it, Gundam Axis, and I forget the other one, but Basically has all the mechs in it. I'm not a huge Gundam Z, but I do know some because I did grow up with it as a kid. Now here's the reactor. You gotta hit it and dodge the bullets and explode it. Give it enough damage. And I didn't do so well there. Dodge that. And then you go on. It's actually a pretty fun game. And the game was so popular that it was re-released on their little mini carts on the Game Boy Advance. The mini classic series that they came out with for a while. And didn't know nothing about it. I said I have over 100 games, and this is one I didn't play till now, and I'm really enjoying it. I played a little bit last night and figured I'd do some video capture today for the Famicom Fridays. What a great game to start off with, because this is a fun game. The hard part is staying away from the blast, because you have a certain energy in the bottom left there, amount of energy, and every time you get blasted you lose a little bit, and it continues on to the next stage. But fantastic, fun Gundam game. And like I said, without this game there would be no series, because this was the start of the series and one of the actually better games for the Gundam series. Still to this day. Oh boy. And it's full of action. So the re-release of this game was in 2004, I believe, for the Famicom mini releases for the Game Boy Advance. And each maze is a little different inside the ships, and you have to collect those to get energy back. Okay, let's see here. I don't think this level breaks the game. Some people say that it does, and that's why they came out with these special of the 1,000 copies where they basically removed these levels. But I think it is, the controls are a little bit different when you're in this mode compared to the other two levels, the other two stages. Which, as you can see, you just touch a wall and you fall out of your, what do they call it, bear toss mode, I think they call it, or something like that. Don't kill me out there if I mispronounce the modes, because I've only watched Gundam a little bit back in the day. I didn't get a chance to see it much, because I grew up at a time before we could get instant access to all these things, and the only way we could see it is through borrowed VHS tapes from people in Japan and stuff. So I saw a lot more of Ranma 1.5 and Dragon Ball and quite a few others. But I didn't get to see too much of this. I only saw a couple of the tapes that my buddy would bring, but I didn't get to see as much as the other series, the other anime series. But very cool. I'm already in stage 3, so I'm not doing bad. I'm actually doing pretty good. Let's see here. I think the trick is to make sure that if they do shoot at you, to blast it out of the air before it hits you. It's kind of like the old Star Wars arcade game, where you could shoot the bullets coming at you, and if you shot them before that, you wouldn't take a hit. So this is a pure action game, where the others were a lot more text-heavy tactical role-playing games. So this is one of the few that's full action game, and it did a fantastic job. Besides the arcade, of course. The arcade had some I remember later on. And this plays a lot better than the Transformer game that we got. Or, well, I don't know if we got it, but Japan did. I think we did too. There was a Transformer game and it was terrible. Just one. And let's see. The thing that hurts this mode compared to the other two modes is there's no really background designs. It's just basically some black with different mazes and stuff to go through. So there's not much background design for this part of the stages. Or the two shooting stages before this, the Earth stage and the space stage, there's a lot more, at least backgrounds and more graphics to it. But I still think this is kind of fun, shooting this challenging reactor and trying to blow it up. Blew me up that time, but game over. Okay, well, we'll try it again. Since it is a lot of fun. Okay, am I supposed to do anything? I guess I had to wait. Okay. Stage 3 continue. So I can see why this did so well in Japan and why that it was re-released in 2004 as part of the Famicom Mini series on the Game Boy Advance. And this game still to this day, it makes the top 100 for the Famicom games. So it is that good of a game. These first two stages are all pure action. I wish I could try out the special edition and see how fun that is. I mean, it's just basically this without the third stage on each level, so I imagine pretty easy. And I heard there is no, it just kind of flips over. There is no real ending to the game, so you can never really truly beat it. It just keeps going in this loop of score. But fun game. I would have loved to have this as a kid in America. I would have played it. Off to the ship we go. Now I myself, even though the controls are a little clunky on this, I do kind of enjoy the little bit maze part of trying to explore a little bit more in the mazes. So maybe it doesn't fit the game 100%, but I could see why they were trying to, try and add to the game a little bit. Did it succeed? Maybe not in execution, but it's an early system and people were still trying to learn how to make games and what to do with them and so on. So pretty cool. Now the music in this game is really good. Unfortunately, you can't hear it, but the music wasn't bad. Let's see here. Jump. See, now I'm hitting a stupid wall. There we go. If you just bump it, you fall out of your mode. Green ones take extra damage, special mechs. I don't know all these different mechs. I have some of them up on display here, but I really don't know the models and things like that. And I'm dead again. Thought I was going to beat stage 3. Stage 3 is a tough one. So, very cool, very nice, very cool. Yes, I really like this type of gameplay for the first 2 stages. The third one's there, but it doesn't work 100% execution, so it brings down the game a little bit. But still, pretty fun game. And I guarantee those special editions, since there was only 1,000 released, it's got to be really expensive. Really expensive game. Probably really rare. Well, not pretty, and probably it is really rare if there's only 1,000 of them. How many survived, we don't know. But I guarantee it's expensive. Especially being in the top 100 of Japanese games. I see, is that planet Earth? Background? Okay, let's see if we can do this time. I want to beat it. Die, sucker. Okay, I'm playing pinball with myself. There we go. Needed some energy. Ow. Okay, I'm not doing good at all. I'm almost in the red. Okay, we got a little bit of energy back. Anyways, I'm going to be doing a lot more every Friday, a Famicom game or Nintendo NES. I play them on my Sharp Twin Famicom. And I got plenty of games, just haven't had time to play them. Didn't know if there was much interest. I like them because that's the system I grew up with, really. The system I love the most, at least. I grew up playing from generation 1, but what turned me into a gamer was the Nintendo NES. And I still go back to it here and there and play a lot of different games. I still play, of course, I'll play a lot of new systems and things like that, but I still have a lot of nostalgia for it, and I still go back and play NES games when I get a chance, or Famicom, to see what I missed on this side of the world. And this is one of them, this fantastic Gundam game. Okay, and I am not doing so hot. I would need energy. I think there's only 2 bars of energy per level. So, not much. We don't put any more than that, I've noticed. They put 2 of those, and then they put always 1 weapon upgrade, and that's it. Per level. Per stage, I should say, not level. Okay, get up there. Okay, I'm not doing too bad now. Even though I don't have much energy, I don't know if I can take out the platform with it, with this much energy left. Unless I get some good shots on it. Ouch. I have 3 bars left. Okay, well that is it for the first Famicom Friday. I hope you liked it. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and as always, have a good one. Take care, everybody, and have a good one. Until next time.